Alright, so it's been a long time. I've just finished with the bike, well, the latest bits, and I just thought I'm gonna give a little more of a quick review or an update on it. I apologize obviously for the mess. This is not a beautiful surrounding to make a video about it, but inside the workshop is actually even worse at the moment. This morning was better, but then I just made a exhaust quickly, and well, there you go, you can actually see it just now. And it's late, I want to go home because this is Sunday and it's supposed to be my rest day, which, yeah, well, there you go. I did remove the tires today, the original ones, STRs, which they're really good on the tarmac. You can see they hold till the very bloody end here, especially the rail till the edge, no chicken strips. Yeah, this bike really rides like a supermoto on those tires. You would not notice that it's a 21-inch in the front if you didn't know. So, quick things. I'm not gonna go into massive details, but there you go. Changes this maybe a bit too much. No, that's all right. I've just changed the sprocket for the 48mm. Is Cavalli from Boano. What's that? Oh, this is what makes noise, this bloody thing. I don't know why I have these things on it, but fuck it, leave it there for now. Yeah, it's a standard rim. This is 4-inch. I'm waiting for my new wheels. I'm probably gonna order them tomorrow. 2.5 on the back, which is obviously much better. You can put the rim locks, mousses. On this rim is pretty shite, as you can see. The curvature of the tire. This is a 140 tire, but obviously it doesn't curve enough. It's just, you know, that's why people change these rims. Apart obviously being weak, not strong enough. Front is a decent size, but again weak, so we have to change for something stronger. Yes, I'm running Michelin Enduro Hard on the front and Michelin trackers on the back. I do use the Mitas E12 and E13 for kind of rally stuff, so mixed tarmac and off-road, light off-road, and these more for off-road. These are much better. They're actually impressive even on the tarmac, especially the front. The back, obviously, with this engine, it just slides everywhere. You're just drifting and going sideways. It's actually very, very good fun. Cage is still on. I wanted to remove it, but then I do like the bike better without it. But then when I removed it, it kind of felt exposed. Kind of, I don't know. I think it just grown on me, the cage, so I just left it. New graphics. My missus like it. I'm not sure about it. I'm definitely not happy the way I'm made. I did warm them up, so they were nice and sticking everywhere, but it's peeling off already from there. I don't think this is good quality stickers. That probably is, no, I don't think that's my fault, because obviously I got the Acerbis plastic fuel tank, which is better than the standard one, but I should make a hose in the plastics, in the stickers, so they can actually breathe. Otherwise it's gonna make bubbles and it's gonna peel off. But this is just not sticking. And yes, I did warm it up properly. How do I find the service fuel tank? Really good, really good. I don't actually notice anything bigger than the standard. You can tell it's a bit chunkier, but riding all the stuff is actually, I don't know, I really like it. There's no downsides whatsoever. The only thing is that you don't have these inserts here, so it's very close. My actually is touching here. You can see the mounts for my handguards, back boosters. Yeah, they're in contact with the fuel tank. Not too much, but yeah, they're touching. This is actually lights. I can turn the lights on and off, so that's cool. These are YZ450. I just put them on today. Very minor modifications. It's just that bolt there, this one here doesn't clear, as you can see, just barely clears, so you have to shave that a little bit, tiny bit. I end up leaving the standard springs because the ones from the pegs were too strong, and when I try to put them on, one actually snaps. I said, okay, fuck this shit, this is Chinese crap, so but I actually leave the springs good. How long they're gonna last, I don't know, we'll see. hopefully all right. Now the boot is slightly taller, and I had to raise the gear lever because I'm using the Alpine Styles Tech 10 boots, and if you know those boots, they hard as hell, they chunky, they're really big, so you need more space to get the boot underneath there a little bit. I did put a 15 tooth sprocket. I had the 17 tooth sprocket on the road tires, and really the bike was really great on the motorway and just generally on the road, nice and smooth. Still enough power to put it up in second, no problems, but you know, for off-road 15, and I'm trying the shortest sprocket, so 48, 2 teeths more than original. So we see. Now moving back, just put a Rally Raid shock, which is tractive shock absorber on the back. Is very good. This is, I find now, the Yamaha uses the Yamaha, you know, the ones they did the Tunisia challenge with Portales and Alessandro Botturi, they used exactly the same shock. This is plus 30 mil, so the travel on the back now is 230 mil. Now, because I'm a short ass, see it's peeling off as well here, because I'm a short ass, I was worried that obviously this raises the bike by 30 mil on the back, and I already touched the ground barely with my foot, with my boots. So what I did, I've ordered the 20 mil lowering kit, still very nicely made, from Rally Raid themselves. So I said, okay, I'm gonna raise the bike 30 mil, I'm gonna lower it by 20, I'm gonna raise it in total by 10. Now you shouldn't be worried about it, because on the standard bike, standard shock, you have about 30 mil space between the tire touches the under tray, roughly. So I lower it by 20 mil, but I have a chunky tire because this is 140 80 18, and obviously slightly taller than original, so it should be safe. But again, a couple of jumps and we'll see if it touches or not. To be honest, to do it properly, to measure it properly, you should remove the spring from the shock and then go on the bump stop, but that's obviously not doable, especially not now, because obviously there's gas inside and all that stuff. I don't want to touch it, it's brand new, so I just leave it there. And it is a very good shock because you have high and low speeds on compression, no on rebound, but again, this is a huge improvement over the standard one. Slightly stronger spring, although I'm only 78 kilograms, 80 kilograms I would say fully dressed, maybe 85 when I'm back in shape, so this is to 85 kilogram spring, so it should be all right. These are must, because with the boots obviously you scratch the frame, so you better protect it. I think that's it from this side. Removal of this, the canister here, the vapor from the fuel tank. I don't know if I've done good or not. Fuck it, I removed it, especially with this tank. What else? Tail Teddy. This is standard one. This is the original one. Already broken it. Put some holes in it, put the zip ties, and it holds, but I have to make a reinforcement inside because it's gonna break again. As you can see, there's a chunk of plastic missing there from the last trip to the motocross track. It was good fun, but I literally lost it just on one of the jumps, I guess. Brake line, I have no ABS on the back, as you already know probably. It works great. Now for some reason the front works absolutely spot on. The ABS, it's not intrusive at all. You can brake and really grabs, you know, it makes the front wheel really grab and actually slide tiny bit before the ABS intervenes. So I'm gonna leave it there. I do like it, the way it works. Something unusual for me because I always ride the bikes without the ABS, but this time I'm actually very happy with it. The rear brake, everyone complains about these, that they're not, on the T7s, they're not strong enough. I don't know what the bloody hell they're talking about. I mean, this one is spot on. I've never had any issues. It is strong enough. I mean, me with my missus on the back, fully packed. I got the Krieger panniers, soft panniers, and the tent on the back and more stuff. You bring your missus camping, you know what I'm talking about. Loads of weight. On the tarmac, on the standard tires, plenty of grip, hot tires, hot tarmac, loads of grip. You touch the wheel brake with no force, you lock the back wheel, no issues whatsoever, no problem. So I don't know why people complain about these rear brakes not being strong enough. I have no idea. I would not ask for anything stronger. Now the exhaust, I just made it. Well, I made a link pipe with some oil pipe. Obviously this was here, I had to grind it off, so it's not very beautiful. Blah blah blah, but fuck it, it works. This is titanium. This is not from the Tenere. This is, I think, from the R1 second hand titanium, very light. It has a catalytic converter inside here, small insert, so in ferro is road legal, well, with a DB killer, which I don't have, so it's kind of, noise is not road legal, but you know, emissions should be legal in ferro. I did make this bracket here, another one, you can see it, because obviously we all know these brackets, they're very soft and it's very easy to break them. Pushes the exhaust down there, scratch obviously the swing arm, possibly break this from the frame, bend it, whatever, all sorts of problems. So and because it's much bigger, longer than the standard one, even the Tenere comes with, the original fitment for Acropovich is, I think, is shorter. I think it's still here, just slightly longer. So I just wanted to change the angle, have it a little bit more kind of, if you can see, so kind of rally style. I've only done it quickly here, but I do like it. So I made the other one here, and it's strong. I mean, you can shake the whole bike, nothing moves. So I'm gonna test it off-road now, and drop it a few times as usual, and we'll see if it's resisting as it should. Engine covers, I think, is a must for the pump, just a tiny bit, just give it some protection, because I'm not saying it's massively exposed, especially with the crash bars, but you never know, some rocks, and I'm in UK, and most green lanes and all the terrain is pretty rocky here, so better protected. Yeah, this is a tire lever here. You can slide both of them, both sides. I only need one because I have two of them under the seat with the pump and all the stuff. This is rally seat, which is much higher than standard, and again the bike now is taller than original by quite a lot, we say, to be honest. Should be by 10 mil, but it's small. The reason why it's small is because I say, okay, the shock is rises the bike by 30 mil. I'm gonna lower it by 20. I'm gonna raise it by 10 in total. Not true, because the standard spring actually, I think, collapsed a little bit. I think it has something to do with the motocross track when the bike was bottoming out all the time. So it kind of didn't have an easy life. So yeah. So in total, actually, I measured it, and from before to now, it is actually 30 mil higher. Within 20 or 30 mil higher seat from the standard Tour early, that's 60 mil, plus you have to add the tires. These are actually taller than the original ones, probably another 10 mil, so 70 mil higher the seat. Now I'm 175, I'm a short ass. I do have a problems to put my foot down on the floor, but I would not change this bike for nothing. I don't know why people complaining about it. I see people like 185, much taller than me, is like, yeah, I barely touch the ground. It's like, shut up and just ride it. Just move your ass a little bit. I've seen people much shorter than me riding taller bikes, and they don't complain. Just use it. What else? Well, I think one of the biggest things, oh Jesus Christ, all back, all knees. So the other thing is this. Now this is not carpet ether. Now the mount is carpet ether, the charger is carpet ether, the bracket is eBay Chinese one. Now companies sell these brackets for £150, but they are only 20 or 30, around £30 on eBay. I'm sick of these companies being really greedy. I understand the profit, and you offer something, but twice the price, all right, but from 30 quid to 150 is bullshit. So I fitted that one with obviously some reinforcements. You can't see it there, but there is actually this reinforcement here is not the standard one. I did modify that one. I TIG welded some more tubes, and reinforcement is solid. It barely moves. There's no vibrations whatsoever, even with this tablet. This tablet is heavy, bear in mind. Now, to the tablet itself. This is an RT71 Pro. The one that Carpater sells is the RT71. They don't want to admit that. They say they build it, blah, blah, but it's bollocks. It's all made in China. And there's another company sells them. They probably order them from them. Now, the difference with this one is that there's supposed to be a plug here for additional charging. It is not there. I choose not to have it. I only charge it from these pins here, which correspond to these pins. And the Carpater is very good because obviously it senses the battery charging. So when you put the bike on, it goes over 14 volts, tunes on, charges your tablet. When it goes below 13, I think, or 12.5, I can't remember exactly, it tunes itself off. Now, the problem with that, I just installed the anti-gravity battery. And that one keeps the charge much higher. So when I turn the bike off, the charger keeps tricking, keeps going on and off, because obviously the battery is not charging, but the battery charge itself is higher. So, but that's not the problem at all. Now, back to the tablet itself. Now this guy, and now people saying you need this secondary port to charge it because this alone is not strong enough when you have the GPS on, which consumes the battery a lot. But that's not true. Well, it's not true for two reasons, I guess. I've tested it. I had the GPS on, I had all the apps on, all the possible apps, and it charges the battery with no problems. It's always 100%, it's always full. I did put it at 50%, put it on the bike, went for a ride, 10-15 minutes, it was full. So no problems whatsoever. However, there's one thing to say. Now, this is military grade tablet and it's very rugged, it's very strong, blah blah, it's waterproof, not water resistant, but waterproof. You can actually submerge this inside the water up to, I think, 5 or 10 meters, something like this. Something stupid that is never gonna happen. And if it does happen, you have bigger problems than the tablet. But what happens is that they say it is very good and this is the way to go because the screen is very, very bright, and it's true. Now these screens, now I don't remember what it's called, the measurement, and so I'm gonna call it lumens. Okay, it's not lumens. I know it's completely bullshit, but I don't know what they call it, so I'm gonna call it lumens instead of bananas. Usually phones have up to 500,000 bananas or lumens on the screen when on the brightest option. These the ones Carpater sells, they have 1,000, so it's very, very bright, and people saying, okay, even in the sun, when you have a massive sun glare, you can still able to see it. Now this one, it has 1200, is the newest model. Now would I buy this again instead of Carpater one? No, I think I would just get the Carpater one because I appreciate obviously this company is doing this stuff for us. I know they're making business obviously, but they put some effort into it, they put some development. Why not? This was an experiment. I wanted to try something different, plus it was not a misunderstanding. In the end, I'm happy I have this one. Is it better because it has more lumens? No, absolutely not. And let me explain why. And probably this is the biggest thing of all. If you can see, this is no gloss. It has this anti-glare film on it, and I ordered it with this on. And I can tell you something. I've tested this tablet on a massively sunny day. Yes, I know we're in UK, but we do have sun sometimes. It was at all the angles, tried to put it under the glare of the sun. Nothing. There's no reflection whatsoever, and the screen brightness was at the lowest levels. Now, would that save my battery? Maybe, probably. But that being said, you could probably use any tablet. There's these rugged tablets that you can buy for much less money. But all you have to use, really, all you need is this anti-glare film on the screen, and that's it. It makes it very opaque, not gloss. But again, it's just brilliant. It's just good. It's honestly brightness on the sunniest day we have here. Minimum levels, that's all you need, and you can see everything very, very clear. So yeah, that's kind of good, I guess. Let me just put this back on. Now they have this locking mechanism. There you go, you see it goes on the charge and the bike is off because my battery is at 13.5. Yeah, anti-gravity battery as a lithium battery. They're pretty good. So this locking mechanism is all right, but it's very small. So you know, when you lock it, this kind of goes halfway out till there roughly, and I'm pretty sure if you put a screwdriver in there or you really force it very hard, you can get this off. Obviously it will stop the teeth from just grabbing it and taking it off when you refuel or something, but I wouldn't trust it to be completely safe. However, the mount is very strong. I'm happy with this. It's on the rubber mount, so it removes some of the vibrations if you have any, but there isn't any. There's a camera somewhere there. I think it covers that. Yeah, it covers the camera. It's a bit of a shame, but you wouldn't use it anyway. It's facing down. Yeah, I think that's it. I did my own naphtha, which I'm gonna use next, and as you can see here, I got this prototype team screen. This is the, can't remember, I think this is the rally screen, which is only 4 centimeters taller than standard. It's one piece. It sticks out a lot in the front of the headlamp. However, I did put this on just to test how the wind goes around it and how it protects obviously me from the wind. But this is actually not intend to use on the standard settings. This is just for my navigation tower when I make my own one with a much lighter lights and all the stuff, which I already made it. I'm not gonna show you on the previous videos, but I'm gonna make a third one because the second one, which is there, is a prototype. It works good. I just want to use different lights, slightly lighter, but I know what to do exactly, and this gives me a little bit more space. Now I have the proper old school Roadbook holder, F2R. It fits in exactly the same position. Obviously it's much bulkier, but it still stays here, so it's still in a good position. You can very clearly see it from the sitting position or standing position, no problems. Nah, I'm not gonna turn it on, you all know this stuff. This is, well, this is just a wireless charger for the Samsung. Now why of this? Because my Samsung is, well, I think any Samsung is a pain in the ass when it rains. The plug doesn't have to go wet, but it senses humidity very quickly and won't charge it, so it's a pain in the ass. You can use any USB if you have any sort of humidity in there or a bit of even light rain, so has to be wireless charged. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's a controller for that, so this is actually very handy. You don't have to scroll this thing, just use everything on this, and obviously that works as a Roadbook as well now, and obviously has the also has the ICO built in, because obviously it's GPS, is very sensitive, it has a massive antenna, the precision is very good on this, so you can use the ICO on that. I will use now the ICO with the magnetic wheel sensor, obviously as a backup. I know it's fully charged. Go on DM2, turn the bike on, so this goes on, and obviously you got the maps and all the stuff, you know this stuff, right? So let's go. This is what we like to see, the Roadbook. You know, you got the icons and all this stuff. Oh, this was off, and it shows the total moving anyway. When I turn it on, initially it's kind of, does it move? Oh, there you go. Scrolls. I think it needs a moment to connect. It did it before as well. No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that either. Come on. I need to play with this because I think I left it before for a minute or two and everything was working fine. The partial was moving with the plus and minus, and then the total was with this left and right, but you see, it doesn't like to do it. So maybe this way. Oh yeah, you have to enter it. What a prick, I'm stupid. You have to enter actually the app, and then you see with this you move the total up or down or reset it. Oh no, not with this. There you go, and then on the bottom one you do that. How do you reset the top one? I can't remember. I think with the minus. No. Oh no, not again. No. Exit. No, exit. Back. Minus. Exit. Minus. I can't remember how you reset that. However, I'm gonna play with it later on. This is not the video about this. But yeah, when it's on, it goes on and off. You see charge on, off, on and off, and it keeps saying it's full when the bike is off. Now let me turn it on, and we'll see if it stops doing that. Yes, when the bike is on, the charge is always on. It doesn't go on and off, so it's all good. Yeah, I kind of need some fuel, I guess. Exhaust sounds fairly alright. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the camera. It probably distorts the sound, but yeah. There you go. It's pretty good. I think it's time to go home. It's late. I spent the whole day here today changing tires. I still don't have my race rims, well, race strong rims, so I have to change the tires every time. Blah blah blah. I think that's it. Next, we're gonna make auxiliary fuel tanks, but I was thinking maybe I may redesign the fuel tank entirely, get something like Husky 701 style or KTM 690, or like proper dirt bike, something like GP Mucci did. He did a very nice job with the Tenere 700 for Team Caprioni to race in Africa Eco Race, with the top pretty much flat, with just a seat from the dirt bike, fuel tanks lower down like KTM 790 or N90, so the fuel obviously much more capacity, but it's low down then, although I don't like them when they're so wide on the bottom, so I would do something slightly different, but then more tanks on the back. I would put probably more fuel on the back than in the front, instead of what GP Mucci did. And he admitted himself actually that there is additional 8 liters of fuel to be put on the back if you redesign the rear again. So there's a lot of space on the back to put a fairly big fuel tank, it will balance the bike off, I think, fairly well. Plus, again, everything is fairly close to the center. Just move the fuel there, not there, just there. So when you transfer the weight, it doesn't shake as much. This top heavy fuel stuff, bollocks, I don't know. The bike rides so good. Everyone is like, oh, top heavy. Shut the fuck up. It rides absolutely beautiful. There's so many people switching from KTM 790s to these. No, I'm gonna start a big massive argument, but that is actually true, for some reason. Again, engine is apparently underpowered comparison to the competition, to KTM 790 or 890. Yeah, fair enough, but do they lack any power on the off-road when you use them off-road? Absolutely not. Road? Yes, of course. On the road is like never enough power. You have 200 brakes, yeah, not enough power. It's simple. Yeah, I say that 200 brakes is not enough on the road. You always want more. I used to race road bikes, and it's like, yeah, you're always hungry for power on the road. So it doesn't matter, Plus this with the short gear ratio, 60 miles per hour. That's the reasonable speed with the longer gear ratios. When you change the sprocket, you're sitting comfortably at 70, 75. With the engine sitting comfortably or low RPMs, between 4,000 and 5,000 RPMs. I'm not talking about, pulling the tits off 8,000, 9,000 RPMs down. Why? Well, that's it for now. I think this is it. Now we're gonna wait because let me turn this off. Obviously, I have the shock on the back. On the front, I don't have anything apart from the spaces, 8mm spaces on the springs, because I set my suspensions to my weight. But I'm waiting for my kit from Boano Racing, 48mm whole front. It's pretty much the same front that Portales used to use or still uses on his bike. I'm not sure if he still uses the same triple clamps. Same forks, I'm not sure for the triple clamps, but he did development with them. As for the geometry on the start, apparently they change a lot on the front, and the bike rides completely different. And I'm gonna test it in August, end of August, because I've just entered that 6 hours endurance race, which is pretty stupid because I have no training whatsoever. I have no practice. I don't have a time to ride this bike whatsoever for now. It's just work, and then as soon as I have some time, suspension is gonna arrive, my wheels are gonna arrive, so I'm gonna set the bike up and straight into the race. Like, what? It's like, if I manage to do one lap, I'll be more than happy. And you have 6 hours race, so I take it just as a practice, not as a race, because again, you need practice on this thing, especially because I'm small, and this is not a bike for small people. But I don't ask for easy, I just ask for fun, and this shit does give me a lot of fun, so why not? I'm not sure about the exhaust. I think slightly smaller would be better, but to be honest, fully open exhaust, it has to be big in order to silence the noise. I did have this bastard on. This one here, I can show you in comparison how smaller it was. It was there, but this was ridiculously stupid loud. There we go, back. Sorry, my GoPro battery went down. So yeah, that exhaust was just stupid loud. So if you're thinking to put one of these on, this is the Chinese copy of whatever exhaust. I did modify it, just a tip, because it was facing my turn indicator. It's just not enough surface to silence anything, it's just stupid. I know I like loud exhaust because why not? If it sounds good, but not if it's just stupid, loud exhaust, argue or not, saves life. If they can't see you, at least they can hear you. Always done that. Always rode bikes with the sport exhaust. That one, I think it's just bang on as the noise. It's not from the Tenere. I think this was from the Yamaha L1. It has a catalytic converter here. Well, I said that already. So it should be fine. Should be road legal, but don't really care about that too much. I think that's it. So yeah, in August, as soon as I have my front end, the 48mm forks, we're gonna start training properly. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do, but obviously I already say gonna need bigger fuel tanks, so yeah, you kind of can guess from that. So but it's a long way, it's dreams and plans, and where we go with these plans we see. For now, I bought the bike just for pleasure, just to go around, but I just fell in love with it, and I started spending so much money. It's like, yes, my wife does know it, and she does bring some arguments against it sometimes, but then I take it for a ride and she's alright with that. So I'm very lucky with this, she supports me with how much money I'm spending on this. However, I don't spend my wages money on the stuff. I do extra jobs to fund the extra bits on the bike. So But you know, before you know it, it costs you twice as much as it costs brand new from the shops. And yes, I do take it brand new, so paid full price for it. Totally worth it. Right, you know, that's it. It's getting dark. I want to go home. I'm gonna wash my hands because look at it. You know, rush the whole day. Then tomorrow I'm gonna finish that. MR2 1.9 TDI conversion for customer. He got bigger injector, so it's gonna need the rim up and all that stuff. It's gonna push in over 300 brakes, about 330, I think. That's the limit of the turbo. This one already, you know, Steve's car. She's pushing nearly 300, 1.8 turbo. More V6 twin turbo. I'm not sure if we're going ahead with this or different engine. We'll see. Always changes in the workshop. But one thing for certain is that this workshop needs tidy up, because I feel sick every time I come into it. Yes, too much. I think next weekend, not this weekend, the weekend, no, weekend after, I am at ABR festival, adventure bike, whatever it is called. And they have this course about 20 kilometers long off-road. I'm really curious to see how these tires are gonna perform there. It's a bit of shame I don't have a front suspension, because now the rear works really good and you can actually see it, you can feel it. The bike goes really, you control it really better, more feedback, and also goes up easier because probably harder, whatever. But you can feel it works much better than the original, like completely better, you know. It is quite expensive, but it's totally worth it. But now you can feel the whole bike works awkward because the front doesn't match the back, so it's kind of like, yeah, not good. Kind of almost worked better before, when the back was as crap as the front. Now only the front is crap, the rear is fine, so it's just lost the balance completely. But not to worry about that, nothing I can do. Yeah, fuck it. So next weekend, ABR festival, and then weekend after, tidy up a little at least, and then we'll see. Alright, that's enough. I see you on the next video, and I know I haven't updated anything for a long time, but this is gonna change soon, so yeah, stay tuned, as they say. Have fun.